Welcome back to the Sideline Vision podcast, and as I welcome you back, I'm welcoming myself back. It's been just about a month since I've been on the podcast due to various reasons, but I am back, and I'm joined by Slingin' Sammy Dicus, Reebok Reece Leddy, and Ty.
I don't get a nickname.
I had a solid second there trying to think of something, and it wasn't coming to me.
It's okay.
Tyrone Ty Wellemeyer.
No time Ty.
And Timeout Ty Wellemeyer. Subscribe to the Timeout on Substack. We have a great show for you today. I cannot express how good it's going to be. I'm in a good mood for no particular reason, so we're going to have a day. And we're going to start that day at 5:16 p.m. with Reece Leddy talking about men's soccer.
All right. So they obliterated Bradley 5-0.
Boom.
That's 5 big booms. We're not doing that though.
I'll do one.
One.
That was big enough that it counts for 5.
Yeah.
Should we do 1 on 3?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not doing that. Though Brock Kuiper scored 2 goals with 2 shots on goals, so he's made it every 2 shots. Everyone first brace by Bruins since last year, and very tight race for the MVC championship right now. Evansville currently leads it, but for the Bruins, they're not able to make the number 1 spot. But as of now, they could either end up as the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, or number 6 seed. So depends on how they play tonight against Evansville.
And we're going to keep it with Reece here as he breaks down every single possible scenario. Go.
This is your job, Reece.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Please don't. Well, going from a team that could finish anywhere to a team that unfortunately is not doing as well. Ty, tell us about women's soccer.
Let's just play taps for their season.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that was beautiful, by the way. Unfortunately, women's soccer did not make the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. They also did not tie the record for most ties in a season. But they did end the season on a high note. They won 2-0 over Illinois State at home. Anna Samuel and Caitlin Elliott scored those goals for the Bruins. I believe, if I read it right, they were undefeated at home for this season. But when you count probably the 4 ties they had, is it really an undefeated season at home?
Yeah.
Okay, let's count it.
It's undefeated.
That is true.
They were not defeated.
Were they defeated at home?
They were not. They were not.
I rest my case.
I rest my case.
The season for the Bruins ends with a 4-6-7 overall record and a 2-4-3 record in Missouri Valley Conference play.
All right. Well, that's the end of that season, but
they tried.
They did.
They looked promising when we filmed episode 1. They had just beaten Coastal Carolina. We were hyping them up. What happened in the 8 episodes since then, Nick?
Well, I've been gone for about 5 of them, so you're going to have to tell me. But switching over to a team who's still trudging through the regular season here. Sam, tell us about volleyball.
Well, it's not going great for the volleyball team right now. They've lost their last 9 sets dating back to their loss at Bradley after they got swept by UNI and Drake last week. They're 14-9 on the year and 5-7 in the MVC, which is not good news because they're tied with 2 other teams for 5th in the standings with that 5-7 MVC record. But they lost to both Bradley and Illinois State, and so they don't have that tiebreaker, which basically means that these 3 teams are going to be battling for 5th and 6th seeds, and one of these teams will not make the tournament. Right now, Belmont is the odd man looking in. Looking at that UNI game, it was not great. Belmont got dominated in straight sets. UNI led in every category and won each set by at least 6 points, beat them 75-53 overall. UNI, they lead the MVC. They're the clear-cut favorite. They're 20-5 and 13-0 in conference play.
Good Lord.
They're dominant. Then looking at the Drake matchup, they're a good team, but that was a bad loss for us. We actually got beat worse by Drake, 75-52 than UNI. They're 4th in the MVC with a 13-11 record, 9-4 in conference play. So 1 through 4 looks pretty set. There may be a little jump between 2 and 3, and if Drake can get in there, but UNI is just over everybody. And this is kind of interesting. Belmont is now 5-1 versus the bottom 4 teams in the MVC, but 0-6 versus everyone else. So still looking for a quality win there. But there were some good individual performances. Aaron McMullen had 8 kills and 6 blocks across 2 matches. Brooke Gilliland had 15 kills, 14 digs, and an ace. And then Jordan Tchaikovsky, 32 assists, 13 digs, and 3 aces.
Yeah, it seems like that really hot stretch that volleyball had may have just been picking on inferior competition, unfortunately, as fun as it was. I'm no volleyball expert, but still I watch this team, and it's a fun watch, and I've seen enough where I still feel like there's a really good team in there that just needs to bust out of a slump right now.
The thing that gets me is the stat that Sam just mentioned about how they're winless against the top 4 teams in the MVC, which is not going to bode well should this team make the tournament.
Because you have to play the
that's
good
who you
teams.
have
You have to play the top 4 teams. But like Nick said, I mean, there's a semblance of a good team in there. We've seen it early in the season. But right now, they're in a slump. You just got to break out of it. But I believe in Fritz Rosenberg. I believe in that man.
Ty, tell us what else you believe in terms of women's golf.
I believe that Chloe Tarkany is going to finish in the top 5. The overall team finished 6th at the Robbie. You and I were joking we're going to call it the Robbie Matz Invitational.
Friend of the show.
show.
My academic advisor who has told me that he's listened to the show before, so maybe he'll tune back in this week.
Hi, Dr. Matz.
Hello.
But yeah,
I'm going to be mad at class if I come in and he doesn't say anything to me.
but yeah, Chloe Tarkany finished 4th. That's her second top 5 finish in the last 3 meets, so she's doing really well. Let's just say that. Keep up the good work there.
All right, and then keeping it with you, cross country.
They went to the greatest city on God's green earth, Evansville, Indiana.
Ooh, swing and a miss.
You
Try again.
didn't let the other 2 guys react. Maybe they think Evansville's the greatest place on earth.
All right, let me open it up to the floor. Floor?
I've never been to Indiana, so that's my answer.
I don't think that there's any validity with what you just said. I don't back
So
it up.
how's the floor treating you, Ty?
Well,
we could have been talking about basketball by now, but you wanted to open up to the floor.
Well, they went to Evansville for the MVC championships. Men's got 3rd overall. Andrew Hamill finished in 5th place. He earned all conference honors. And then the Brill brothers got all conference honorable mentions. So in cross country, if you finish like top 8 or top 10, I believe, you get all conference honors. And then like the 6 after that get like honorable mentions. So it's very interesting to base your conference honors off one race, but who am I to judge? And then women's finished 8th. Sophie Nichols finished 27th, leading the Bruins. It's going to be really interesting to see how she improves from her freshman season. She's led the pack in every meet that I've covered. Going to be someone to watch out for.
Absolutely. Now, the moment that everybody's been waiting for all semester, everybody at Belmont's favorite sport, seemingly. Reece, Leddy, you're going to talk about men's basketball. I'm going to talk about women's basketball. You go first.
All right. So, men's basketball got the win. Home opener, first win of the season, 79-63 against Air Force. Overall, I mean, first half was a little tight. I mean, there was, when I was covering the game, there was a point where you saw the scoreboard and it was field goal percentages and 3-pointers, and literally Air Force within it was 8 minutes into the game and it was 100%, 100%. And then Belmont, it was 30-25, and we're like, what is going on? They did fix their field goal percentage throughout the game. They had a 62.5% field goal rate, but their 3-pointers, 25%, just weren't really there that game, but they made it up for it by playing in the paint. Very aggressive. Sam Orm had a career high of 21 points, so probably the best game I've seen him play. Nick McLean, he's the new Bruin on the block, some say. 14 points for him. Very good. And do want to point out that the head coach of Air Force, Joe Scott, was very entertaining to watch from the other side.
He was in a mood.
I'd rather watch him than another Bruins basketball game. I was just so honed in on him. Every play, there's a play where he told a player to come over here and talk to him, and I guess that he didn't get back on defense fast enough, and he pushed him onto the court. And I was like, you can't touch a player. Whatever. He was something.
Yeah, he got called for a technical at one point, and he was arguing with the refs about it after. And the last word he gets in is, "Well, you didn't give one to Casey." And I was,
I saw him jump, when toddlers jump in the store with their feet, and they just slam them both down.
Double foot stomp.
Joe Scott. The dude who helped coach Anthony Edwards at Georgia, he was an assistant coach. Dude, absolutely livid that game. And hey, we won by 16 points. And I say we because, yes, I was also on that court too, just in a different way.
You were.
I, in fact, did not go to this game. I instead went to see the Vanderbilt massacre of the Lipscomb Bison.
This traitor. You know, they say the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know, we see Lipscomb, they're on the same street as us. We see them as the enemy. Vanderbilt's the same distance, just the other direction. And for some reason, we're all buddy-buddy. Ty, I'm disappointed in you.
I got to see a poster dunk.
I did too.
We did too.
Yeah,
Okay,
we did too.
And I recorded it for B-roll, which you can find on Belmont Vision's Instagram, on Sports Report, hosted by Reece Leddy.
Well, that's beautiful.
Did you get a clip of their head coach taking his jacket off after he got the tag?
I did not, but I wish I did.
That was just. Is that like a rule? Because like as soon as like the hands made contact, like he just sighed, took his jacket off, handed it to an assistant coach, and you could tell that this assistant coach had to do this before.
That's probably
there
his
was
only
a
job.
specific spot that he set the jacket down, and then brought him back a water, and then the head coach just sat there, just distraught.
That's probably his main role. Is just he's the jacket coach.
Jacket boy.
But yeah, I was, it was close. It was back and forth, but I was impressed ultimately with the men's basketball team pulling it out at the end. And Nick McLean especially, 14 points is obviously good, but I just thought the way he pushed the pace down the floor was really impressive. Had a lot of good looks at assists and whatnot.
He made all his free throws too. He was 10 for
There you
10.
go.
Free throw savant.
So 10 of his 14 points were free throws.
Yeah. Well, talking about a team that did not make all of their free throws, women's basketball suffered an 84-67 loss to, granted, number 6 ranked Oklahoma. And it's worth mentioning, this was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter, and not like at the start, like pretty substantially in, ended up slipping away. Bruins really went ice cold down the stretch for the game, shot just 32% from the field, 29 from 3, and then 50 from the free throw, which
Yuck.
hurts my heart.
How many attempts from the free throw line?
That's something I should have checked. One moment.
This game was close enough to where ESPN and Apple felt the need to message me that Belmont was going to upset Oklahoma potentially, which is very interesting. You don't get that every day.
Looking at ESPN, it looked like Oklahoma's win percentage at some point was only about 57. So not, against the number 6 team in the country, you're coming away with something there at the very least. The team shot 11 for 22 from the free throw line.
Oh, yuck.
It wasn't like a 2 for 4. They were getting to the line consistently, just couldn't finish.
It felt like most of the game that I watched, they were getting opportunities and then they were back ironing them, like shooting way too hard, which is just, again, you're not comfortable in that type of environment. Number 6 on the road, first game of the season, jitters. I get it.
I did want to shout out Sanaa Tripp, had 13 points and kind of an increased role this season, an efficient 13 points, I might add, 50% from the field, over 40% from 3. And then Jalen Banks also was the leading scorer. She had 16 points paired with 2 rebounds and 3 assists. And something I wanted to shout out, Sam Dicus has a story coming up very soon on the Belmont Vision website highlighting the Beers family. Riley Beers plays for Belmont. Unfortunately did not play in this game, but Reagan Beers did play on the other end for Oklahoma. She finished with 29 points and 10 rebounds. Heck of a performance.
Absolute. Belmont had no answer for her.
Yeah. Well, maybe they did, and she was just on the bench, her sister. If anybody's going to know how to guard her, you got to think. But
Bart's just like, Riley, I got to get you in.
It's like the LeBron stopper, That's what Riley Beers would have been in this game.
Did you? So there was a section of her family behind Belmont's bench, and they all just had shirts that said Beers on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have one of those too. Different reason. We're going to switch over to future focus now, looking ahead at the Belmont things we have going up. I'd like to clarify for that joke that that's not on campus. I live off campus. Don't come for me. Sam, tell us about what's coming up for volleyball.
Well, Friday at 1 p.m., we got Valparaiso. Got some good news. They're giving out social Welcore if you attend.
Really?
That is
social Welcore.
And which day is this again?
Friday at 1.
You said social?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough break for me. I need pretty much everything else.
Social's the easiest one to get.
Yeah.
Like if they were going to hand out like some financial Welcore, I'd be like, sign me up.
Give me a little environmental, you know?
What's environmental about volleyball at 1 p.m.?
You know, to really appreciate the environment, you have to be inside during peak environment hours to miss it, and then you understand how good you had it. Sam,
You didn't know how good you had it till you lost it. Now you're
I feel like
inside.
the way you're describing it is more spiritual Welcore.
Hey,
I need that
I was
too.
gonna say I could use some of that.
There's a mid-match sermon.
They do the thing before the games.
Yeah,
Come on now. All right, Sam, I'm
their
going to shut
hands.
up and let you talk about volleyball.
That's fine. It's not looking too good. We got Valparaiso. Their second MVC, 19-6 overall record, 10-2 in MVC. They narrowly beat the Bruins in 5 sets 3 weeks ago. Belmont actually held the edge in most statistical categories. This is a must-have game for them to prove that they can hang with a top-tier opponent. And I think it's kind of a toss-up. I know that they haven't been playing well lately. I think that there's more at stake for Belmont than Valparaiso, so they'll come with an edge. And I think that Welcore crowd's going to give the Bruins a boost. I think there's going to be a lot of people signing up for a little social Welcore. And I'm expecting some good performances across the board from Miley DeBelt, somebody we don't talk about a lot. But the last time we played Valparaiso, she set career-high marks in kills, points, and digs. Brooke Gilliland last time around, pretty much expect her to have a good match every match. She had 21 kills. Then you got Lily Lutz, who has been huge for us all season and across her whole career. She set a career high with 34 digs last matchup. So I think that's 3 people to really keep an eye on while you're getting your social Welcore. And then Saturday, traveling to Southern Illinois at 5 p.m., 10-16 Southern Illinois team that's 4-8 in the MVC play. And I'm saying this straight up, they have to win this game. If they have beat up on the bad teams, this is a bad team to beat up on. We beat them 3-1 over a month ago. We should have no trouble doing so again. It's a must-win game. Cannot afford to give up any more ground. And last matchup, Brooke Gilliland had 19 kills and 3 aces, so I'm looking for her to dominate this time around on Saturday.
Yeah, and at this point, it's
Must win.
It's less about giving up ground and more about clawing your way back in almost. Down the stretch, all these games become more and more important. Ty's doing a little claws up thing that really threw me off. I thought he was trying to wave me down and tell me something went wrong. So we're going to move on from that. We're going to go over to Reece, men's soccer, another team fighting for position. What is coming up?
So Belmont plays Evansville at 6 p.m. Tonight while we're recording this. So yeah, Evansville, they lead the MBC standings right now. Their record right now is 6-3 and 8 overall, but MBC play, they're unbeaten. So 3 wins, 0 losses, 3 ties. Though their goalkeeper was just named MBC Defensive Player of the Week. So very strong performance from him from the last week. That's going to be a pretty tough opponent to go against. Though Brock Kuiper just scored his 2 goals. We've been very efficient on offense. Rarely have we been in a position where we just don't have a game in our possession, where we can't win it. There's always a time where we could get one more goal to tie it up. Whatever. It's always within one score, I feel like, for our team. But Evansville, I feel like it's just going to edge out the Bruins just a little bit. I feel like if they win, they clinch the number 1 seed. As far as Drake, Northern Iowa, and Western Michigan, they're all tied. So it's really confusing. Oh my gosh. It's a really confusing battle because they're all tied. And the only team that has beat Evansville is Drake. Northern Illinois and Western Michigan have both tied to Evansville. So even if Evansville loses, Northern Iowa and Western Michigan can't rank over Evansville since they've tied to them. And since Evansville would have the same record if Belmont wins, it would go to Drake. I would say, I don't know, if we beat Evansville tonight and Drake beats their opponent, which I believe is it UIC? It's Bradley. Bradley is playing Drake, and I believe they're going to win that game. I feel like Drake has a very good shot at getting the number 1 seed overall. As far as Belmont, they're in the number 5 spot right now, and I think they stay there. I think whether they win or lose, I think that who's playing UIC? UIC is the team right behind us with a 1-1-4 record right now. And Western Michigan is playing UIC, which I believe they will beat UIC. So I think in terms of seed standings, I think Belmont just stays where they are at the number 5 seed. And honestly, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, foot in the door is foot in the door. It gets to a point where you just got to win. You get in and then you just got to beat whoever's in front of you regardless. So a lot of postseason implications, but at the end of the day, just got to keep winning. Ty, what is coming up in men's golf and men's tennis?
So I believe tomorrow they are heading to Hawaii for a tournament name that I will not try to pronounce out of respect, because it is a Hawaiian name that I cannot pronounce.
Oh, never mind. I thought you had it written on here. You do not. Oh, wait. Do you?
I do not.
No, you do not. Okay. Well, I won't try either.
Because I wasn't going to try to pronounce it.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Some of the notable teams in this invitational are West Virginia, Butler, Baylor. So some pretty big schools. And then you got Belmont. So men's golf has looked kind of all right. So it should be interesting to see how they do against some Power 5 competition.
Yeah.
I don't know what that what is happening.
Sam is pulling up the name. It appears to be the Pearl at Kalau Invitational.
Yeah, I just didn't want to mispronounce the island it was on, so.
Ty, sometimes you got to take a risk.
I'm not trying to get canceled today.
Me neither.
I'm going Galileo.
Galileo. Like Galileo, but.
I'm going Galileo.
Oh, there you go, Ty. Now you just ruined it. There you go. You did it to yourself.
All right, tell us about tennis.
Men's tennis, they have the ITA Conference Masters in San Diego from Thursday to Sunday. Sabi Roy is doing both singles and doubles, and his partner is Stefan Vedovelli. So interesting to see. There are some pretty good tennis players in this draw, so it should be interesting to see how those guys do, and I assume we will cover it on the next Sideline Vision.
We can only hope.
We can only hope.
Knock on wood. Thank you. Sam, once again, this is what the people come for.
The people demand this.
People in real life have told me that they were excited to tune in once we started talking about basketball. What is coming up for men's basketball?
Got a game against TSU on Saturday. I'll be covering that game for the Vision, so be waiting for a recap. But both teams are 1-0 after that Air Force win we were talking about. But TSU just came off a drubbing over Fisk University, 101-50 win. They had 5 players in double figures, with Travis Harper II and Carlos Williams leading the way with 15 apiece. And getting into the nitty-gritty of this matchup, Williams is an undersized forward. He's just about 6'5", but he's going to force Belmont's bigs out of the paint with his three-point shots. He went 4 for 5, I believe, in that game. I'm thinking TSU's going to lean into their size disadvantage by playing quick and jacking threes, whereas Belmont's going to probably dominate the paint with a strong big man rotation. Seems like they can always have 2 big guys on the court at one time. But they're going to have more consistent three-point shooting after Orm, Lundblade, and Smiley were the only 3 Bruins to connect from beyond the arc. Belmont only had the 8 turnovers to TSU's 21 in their win against Fisk, so that looks like an advantage, but the Bruins are going to have to do a better job sharing the rock after only 16 assists the previous match to TSU's 22. It's a good ratio, 2 assists to 1 turnover, but they're going to need more ball movement leading to consistent scoring opportunities. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I think Belmont's bigs versus TSU's shooting is going to be an interesting one to kind of keep track of throughout, but I think Belmont's going to edge past TSU.
I'm sorry, did you say that TSU had 21 turnovers and Fisk put up 50? What were they doing with those turnovers? What was Fisk doing?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
They said, I got the ball and I don't want to do
not
anything.
a lot. The one thing that concerns me with TSU against Belmont is the athleticism and the length. That's something that with Tennessee Tech we saw them struggle with in the exhibition. Tennessee Tech had some athletes, and Belmont turned over the ball a lot. Same kind of goes for TSU, another Ohio Valley Conference team. I have my doubts, but like Sam said, I think there's more talent on Belmont. Better basketball talent.
I was talking about that size advantage. Actually, TSU has it in the length, like you were saying. Like, it's going to be hard for Belmont's guards to find passing lanes, just how long and lanky some of TSU's guards are. Like Travis Harper II, he's a 6'6" guard. very athletic, like you mentioned. So I think that's going to be something to monitor. Like you also said, I think Belmont's got the more talented roster, but it's not played on paper.
They got the better shooting roster for sure.
Yeah, if they hit those shots.
If they hit those shots.
That's what I noticed most about Air Force is it just felt like Belmont left so much on the table. And even though they ended up coming away with a pretty sizable win, it felt like it could have been so much bigger. It didn't even look like they were taking bad shots. They just weren't falling.
That's how it went for the Tennessee Tech exhibition too.
Yeah.
They were good shots. They just were not hitting them.
Yeah, so hopefully that is a fluke and not a trend. And finally, ending off this segment, I have women's basketball. They have their home opener versus Brown this Friday. Brown has not played a game yet this season, so fresh start for Belmont. Really just the key is going to be to play for full quarters. You know, Belmont, even though they fell behind pretty early, they were consistently down by double digits. They make that late push against Oklahoma and then just kind of go silent. For Brown, it's just going to need to be a complete game from the team, which you would hope is able to be played.
Brown last year, for anyone wondering, went 12-15 overall, conference 6-8.
Yeah,
so not anything to really be like too concerned about.
It's a team you think you should be able to beat.
Yeah.
So, speaking of teams beating other teams, this is an idea I pitched, about a month ago, and then haven't been able to come on the podcast, but it's even more fitting now because Sam Dicus is a Dodgers fan. They just won back-to-back World Series. It's 3 in the last 5 years or 6 years?
3 since 2020.
Since 2020.
Yeah.
I brought this up because I have never once in I can't say in my life, I have not witnessed any of my teams win a championship. I'm a Detroit sports and Michigan State fan. The Red Wings won in 2008. I was 4 years old. The Spartans hockey team won in 2007. I was 3 years old. And the Pistons won about a month after I was born. Since then, nothing. Last championship for any of my teams was 2008. Didn't watch sports at the time. Tigers made it in 2006, lost to the Cardinals, then lost to Ty's Giants in 2012. The Lions have famously, never been the longest running franchise, been around for every single Super Bowl, has not so much as been to it. So I wanted to ask, and we'll start with Sam. Watching this championship, you have $1 billion payroll. You win back-to-back. You've won 3 since 2020. Does it ever feel more empty? I don't know what happens when you win a championship. So I just, from first person's perspective, still fresh, how do you feel?
This is my second favorite championship of any sport I've ever watched. The first would be the Chicago Cubs in 2016. I come from a Cubs family. I actually wore a 2016 Cubs shirt earlier today, and it just put a smile on my face. I can take you blow by blow through that Game 7 in Cleveland. That's the greatest sporting moment in the history of sporting moments. In my opinion, it's a big deal in my family. I loved watching it. There's never been a feeling in my life like when the Cubs won the 2016 World Series. Saturday came pretty close. It was a pretty close second. My goodness, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Starting with Game 6 and the Dodgers, that is a ground rule double. As soon as it hit right there, I said ground rule double. Yeah. And then they threw up their hands, and I was scared. I was scared they weren't going to call it because Barger just kept running. I was like, there's no way that they're not going to call it. Got the call right. It was an incredible World Series. You can say whatever you want about payroll. Blue Jays were 5th in payroll. Dodgers, we spend a lot of money. A lot of it's deferred. But we have the highest return on investment. And I saw something earlier today, and I completely agreed with. The Blue Jays had a look at Shohei Ohtani. No, they talked about that. The Giants have swung and missed at every big free agent since ever.
Don't forget, we got Arson Judge.
You did get Arson Judge.
Oh, yeah, thanks for taking Rafael Devers off our hands, Stan. Thank you.
Glad I could help.
The Yankees, they keep handing out these big contracts. They're still paying Aaron Hicks. When was the last time you saw Aaron Hicks in a game? So it's just that the Dodgers pay the right people the right amount of money. Yamamoto is just a beast. Like, when he started warming up in the 18th inning of that one game, which I stayed up for the entirety of, I was just like, this is a different breed of human being. And then when they pulled him in Game 6, I was like, we've lost. Like, he pulled him too early. No, Dave Roberts, I had my doubts about him earlier in the postseason, like 2017 to 2019 range. 2022, when he put Lance Lynn against the Phillies, I was like, what are you doing? These last two playoffs, like, I don't think I've disagreed with a single move he's made. Like, it has just been so tactical and so precise, and just things like leaving Rojas in the bat. Like, when he swung and missed at that ball in the left-handed batter's box in the top of the ninth, I was like, you've done it. You let Miguel Rojas define the season. Then he hits the home run. He's at second base, makes that incredible play that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was out on. He was out. It was his fault he was out. No disagreement here, but he was out. Putting in Pages in center field to make that insane catch. I played center field. That is the hardest kind of catch to make for both players. I've made the basket catch. There's no better catch. I've made the how did he catch. As soon as that ball went up, I was like, we lost. Because I did not think Pages could get there. It was just 24/7, just like, what are we doing? Like my heart rate rarely creeps up into like the 50 range. Like, it was at least 125 the whole game. It was incredible. There's nothing like it. Baseball is the greatest sport on earth. That was the most entertaining championship of any of the major last championships that I can think of. And if you want to talk about the Dodgers spending a lot of money, we wouldn't even have been able to win this game without a guy named Chris Klein or whatever it was, who I had never heard of even when he was out there. So, like, yes, we threw 4 aces in Game 7, but also, like, there was a lot of fringe guys on the rosters that anybody could have had. They don't. We do. We hoist the trophy. And I think we got a good look at a three-peat.
Yeah, I really, payrolls, all this stuff, calls, controversial. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think if you have the money, you spend it. I'm not going to get too deep in the woods on that. Instead, I'm going to swing it to another spoiled little brat, Mr. Boston over here, Mr. New Hampshire, Mr. Patriots, Bruins, Red Sox, Celtics fan. Reese, what's it been like for you to watch championships?
Oh my gosh, dude. It's, because it's been a blast being a Patriots fan. I'll get to that later because, Celtics 2024, but before that we had a 2008 championship. Hey, I didn't see that 2008 championship. I was 3 years old when that happened. I don't remember that.
That must have been really hard for you.
I bet the 2004 one was hard for you too. I can't remember that. But I don't know. Red Sox, they've been a blast. Like, the thing about Boston franchises is that I feel like a lot of them are just super iconic teams. Like, and the Patriots, even with their 6 Super Bowls, I don't classify them as like an iconic team. Like, they don't have the aura that the Bruins, that the Red Sox, that the Celtics have. Like, those, in terms of Boston identity, those are the big 3 to me, are the Bruins, the Red Sox, and the Celtics. And all of them combined from when I was born, let's see, Celtics got 2, Bruins got 1, Red Sox got, wow, how many they got? 4? 4. Or no, 3 since I was born. I was not born in 2004. I was a little late on that. But being a Boston sports fan is the easiest thing ever. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Even when the Patriots have a 4-season slump where they don't have any progress.
4 whole seasons?
Exactly. And they will convince you we got it tough. We really don't. Because there's a lot of teams, a lot of cities. Some cities don't even have any. Like, at least Detroit, at least you got the Red Wings. At least you got your 9 Stanley Cups. Like, that is something to be proud of. Like, that's more than the Boston Bruins. The last time, hey, say what you will about the Toronto Maple Leafs not winning a Stanley Cup since 1967, but if the Boston Bruins never won that 2011 Cup against the Canucks, we wouldn't have won a Stanley Cup since the 70s. So we would have been kind of the same deal. But being a Patriots fan, I'll just say that. I mean, you got Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman. You got Randy Moss, even when he wasn't winning winning Super Bowls with the Patriots. The 16-0 season was pretty good, but didn't win it all. So whatever, you scratch that off. But just so many players that you wouldn't think would work in the NFL came onto the Patriots, because I don't think The special thing about the Patriots, in my opinion, is that most of the players, except for Tom Brady, were really only on the team for like 2 or 3 seasons. Like there's a lot of times where I just had to switch jerseys because a player went to a different team because Belichick and Kraft said, all right, you're done. We're not paying you anymore. And that was kind of like the Patriot way. But I don't know. It's been fun being a Boston sports fan. I mean, the 28-3, that's got to be, it's either that or Seahawks. Those are my two most favorite wins. Like, and those are the ones I saw live, including the Rams one, but that one was a boring Super Bowl. But
boring
like,
game ever.
Just, it's crazy you can win 2 Super Bowls and have 2 of them be some of the most iconic Super Bowls in history. You come back from a 28-3 deficit.
There you go.
You got it.
Deficit. And then Seahawks, you got Malcolm Butler, a rookie cornerback. You got the Seahawks on the 1 with Marshawn Lynch in the back, and they audible for a throw for a passing play, and the rookie cornerback catches it in the end zone. Like, to see that as a 10-year-old, oh my gosh, dude, that there's nothing like it. There's really nothing like being a Boston sports fan.
I want to smack this table so bad. We're going to go over to Ty now. Now, Ty shares the Celtics with Reece, and you're the closest to me, but you still have a couple, mostly because when you picked out your teams, you closed your eyes and threw darts at a map of the United States.
Let's go over. What are Ty's favorite sports teams?
NFL, Minnesota Vikings, NBA, Boston Celtics, MLB, San Francisco Giants, college football, Notre Dame, college basketball, Kansas Jayhawks.
No further questions. So,
inspired by mostly family members.
Yeah, and so just off the top of my head, have you seen Kansas?
I've seen Kansas win.
San Francisco, and Boston.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Notre Dame got close last year, but Jeremiah Smith toasted our cornerback for like a 70-yard pass.
Which one of those, I'll just say, which one of those has been like your favorite?
The one that I remember the most is Kansas. Boston 2024 I kind of expected because I didn't think Dallas was that good. I thought Boston was the best team in the league the whole season. Giants, I was kind of too little to fully, I think, understand the moment and the weight of it all. You know, you're happy because your favorite team won and my grandpa was happy, which meant a lot to me. Kansas is like the one team my dad and I bond over. And I remember that day very vividly because I had a shift scheduled at Chick-fil-A and I was going to be missing it. And my boss was like, who wants to go early? And I was like, I'll go home early. I'll take the pay cut to watch Kansas. First half, Kansas is getting absolutely destroyed. They're losing to North Carolina by like 15. And I said, okay, I'm just going to go work on homework. I turned off the game. And my mom followed it and she was like, Kansas is coming back, right? And I was like, oh, wait, really? So I went out, I started watching, and Kansas ended up winning. And I remember my dad and I just like texting. We were like, what shirt are we going to get? What shirt are we going to get so we can match this momentous occasion? So yeah, just a good day. It was a really good game. People forget that it was really down to the wire. Caleb Love, I think, airballed a 3-pointer to send it into overtime, and just that team was pretty special.
Yeah. This always comes up for me because I think about like my favorite sports moments, and I think about hearing trouble with the snap over the radio in the car because we turned the game off to go get dinner with a friend, and then I heard it in the front seat. Mom, turn it up. And that was crazy. I think about Kenneth Walker's 5-touchdown game against Michigan. I really hate Michigan.
I remember watching that Kenneth Walker game and thinking that's the greatest running back of all time.
Me too. I remember, Michigan State basketball beating the Zion, RJ Barrett, the other guy, Cam Reddish, that Duke team.
Very underrated March Madness game.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite basketball game ever, period. And, when the Lions won their first playoff game since 1991, 2 years ago, I cried. And then I cried when they beat the Buccaneers. And then I cried a little bit when they lost to the 49ers in the worst way imaginable. But that 49ers game at halftime, first time in my life that I thought the Lions are going to the Super Bowl, and I genuinely believed it. And then they didn't. So that's my life.
So, Nick, I do have a question for you about something, and this is from the last episode that you missed.
Oh, I know what
and
this
Reece
is.
Leddy wants to ask you, what do you have against the New Orleans Saints? What's your deal
My
with the New
deal
Orleans Saints?
is that you don't draft a 26-year-old quarterback that isn't good and then don't start him for half the season.
He's starting now.
Oh,
He
congratulations.
threw a touchdown.
Oh my God, he did too. Guess who? His former college teammate from 6 years ago. Jawan Johnson has been in the league for God knows how long. They played together in college in 2019. They played together in college, not in this decade. And they drafted him. That's what I have. And also they think they're cute kicking the cap down the road. They just keep kicking that can.
Kicking that cap down the road.
That can's gonna be full at one of these days, and I for one can't wait to see that day.
I'm with you on the cap thing.
I
don't like it.
I'm gonna settle down now. That's because that's all we have. That's the episode. Appreciate you tuning in. Good to be back. Good to be with my boys again. And hopefully I'll be back next week, and we all will, for another great episode of Sideline Vision.